Why do you think so many people in their lives struggle to find joy when on the outside they appear to be successful and have it all?
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's
And if
newsman,
you were just trying to
Logan
get to
Crawford.
investigators, they now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
What if the life you want begins with changing the way you think? I'm Logan Crawford, and right now we're talking to a terrific author. His name is Ken Karakas, and he has penned a powerful book. It is called Juicy. In the book, Ken draws on more than 25 years of studying personal development, along with profound experiences of loss and reflection, to explore how people can live with greater joy and purpose as well. His book encourages readers to recognize their abilities, become clearer about what they truly want, and make more intentional choices about the lives they create. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put him on TV today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Ken, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thanks very much, Logan. I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for the kind introduction.
Oh, it's well-deserved. You did great work on this book. Your book is born out of two very profound experiences. One, of course, losing your wife in 2018. And the other, of course, is what we all suffered through, the COVID-19 pandemic, or 2020 pandemic, I should say. Talk to us a little bit about how those aspects of your life started you thinking about this book that ultimately became Juicy.
Well, when my wife passed, it was a long battle with cancer, and I just continued to work like a lot of people do. They handle their grief. They just put their energies into other things to avoid the pain that's still there. And so I worked for a while, and I felt that I had grieved a reasonable amount, but when COVID hit and all of a sudden you weren't working and you had time to yourself, I sat in my backyard and I began to just try to find peace. And as I found the peace, I realized that I had some grieving left to do, which I did. And then thought, I haven't done this in a long, long time. Just reflected on myself, what my life is about. And of course, I was a different person now because I was no longer the person I was with my wife. I was no longer the person that was single before I met my wife. And so I was a new person. And I didn't know what that was. And so I began to use the materials that I had studied to reflect on that. And through that process, which I put in the book, I found what I really desired. I found a new direction for my life, and I found some peace and some clarity.
Wonderful, wonderful. And how did you go about that? Was it deep thinking? Was it meditation? Was it just intentionality of focusing on who you are right now?
I think that just being peaceful in the yard and nature was like a meditative situation. So the mind got quiet. That allowed me the clarity, and then I made notes. I wrote all the things that I do. I wrote what I like and what I don't like, and then I put a separate list of things that I like to do. What things in my life did I like to do? And I looked at what I was doing, and some things that I like to do were not in my daily life, and some things were in there that I didn't like to do. I just made the decision. I intended to change my life by doing more of what I want to do, incorporating more of the things I really enjoy doing, and trying to eliminate, if possible, some of the things that were not enjoyable in my life.
Absolutely. Why do you think so many people in their lives struggle to find joy when on the outside they appear to be successful and have it all?
Uh, I think a lot of it is culture driven. Um, people are, I mean, we're all survivors. We spend most of our lives surviving, working, working, working. I mean, I was a paper boy when I was 10 and 11 years old. And, it's a long time to be working. And then, I started to develop the phrase, well, what are we working for? And I just, I think people just do not take time for themselves because they're caught up in the hamster wheel. They have to work, they have responsibilities. And a lot of times they don't feel that they deserve to have some time to themselves or to search for a life that could give them more joy, even in the circumstances that they're in with their career, with their families, and everything else. You can still find some time to look after yourself. And I think out of the culture and the way we're kind of programmed, we just don't take the time to do those types of things. And we
Yeah.
should do it more. The enlightened ones do that all the time. But people that don't have a moment to be enlightened, become enlightened, they just carry on and do the same routine all the time. And I think you just need to take a break and say it's okay for me to have 15 minutes to myself and reflect.
Yeah. We often fill our days with being busy. Like you said, we started at a young age, whether you're a camp counselor or a paper boy or whatever it might be, you're always working. And I think back to my childhood, and some of my happiest days was just laying on my couch, window open on a summer day, the breeze coming in, daydreaming, napping, not worried about, am I being productive today? Have I gotten A, B, and C done? In fact, not doing anything was the goal. So I think we have to stop feeling guilty about doing nothing because doing nothing sometimes is just wonderful. Question I have for you is why do you call the book juicy?
Um, I just the expression of find your juice is it's not a major trend, but it is something that gets used. And for me, it just I don't know, it just came naturally that it's in line with passion. It's in line with your desires, the things that excite you, and joy, obviously. And I just felt juicy was something that was a little bit slightly off the beaten track, but still understandable. To me, it just felt right in my heart when I picked I had different titles, and when I picked that title, it just felt right in my heart, and so I went with it.
Great. And also, there's always a juicy book. You know what I mean? Like something that's
Mhm.
really enthralling and engaging. And why not have a juicy life? And I think that great. It really captures people's imagination and captures their attention as well. One of the aspects of your book focuses on what we think. What we think and what we're telling ourselves is truly important, right?
Absolutely, it's how we create our worlds. It's through our thoughts. I mean, and it's been around for a long, long time. You become what you think about, and many wise people have said those words before, and it's so true because we think of what we want and we make a decision to do it. Well, then you begin to focus your attention on achieving that. So let's say that you wanted to go to university, you wanted a law degree, and so you make the decision you're going to do that. Well, what do? You start to find the information. Well, how do I get into university? What marks do I need? How do I do those things?
Mhm.
And you begin to think more and more. Well, that creates an energy around that idea and begins to move you in the direction of what you want to do. And people will say, well, I don't do that very much. Well, really, if you just looked at your life, you would realize that you're thinking the same thoughts every day, doing the same routine every day, when If you were directing it to what you want instead and using that faculty of thought, you would begin to direct your life in a better way if you choose to. I mean,
Yeah.
people have the right to do whatever they want with their lives, but I think most people would like to have a more enjoyable life. And so they just need to take control or be aware of their thoughts and begin to direct them. Over time, you'll get in the habit of directing better. And I'm still in the process of wanting to become a better thinker. But I notice the differences, and I certainly recommend them to anybody.
I also think it's important to remember that it's never too late. If you want to get a master's degree in film, if you want to become a lawyer, I don't care if you're 60, 70, or 80, go back to school and do it. Why not? If that's what you enjoy, if that brings you happiness, if studying those disciplines is something that'll bring you joy, then do it. I think a lot of people impose limiting beliefs on themselves. I'm too old to do this, or that has passed me by. What do you think of that mindset?
I think that's very common. That's exactly what we do, and that's a big mistake.
Yeah.
We underestimate ourselves and we give so much more credit to others. If you want to use examples, there's plenty of examples of people that have juice, that live their life, a juicy life, and they're going after it and they're having a great time. And there's many, many examples of people that started late. Louise Hay from Hay House, starting a publishing business when you're 60 years old or 61. Wow, but there's many, many people that have done things, people that have got themselves in better health and better fitness and those kinds of things, found a great loving relationship at late in life. All those things are possible, but you need to want to do it. And if you look at the difference between the two, if you go after it, that joy, that excitement is going to add years to your life or quality to your life. Whereas if you go the other way and you're beating yourself up on what you've done or limiting yourself on what you can't do, you're missing out on that wonderful opportunity to really enjoy and participate in life.
Exactly. If you tell yourself you can't, you're right, you can't. But then again, if you tell yourself you can, you're right, you can. That's for sure. Finding purpose is so important. We're starting to hear it now, even in the medical field, that if you want to have a long life, you have to have purpose. Talk to us about finding purpose in our lives.
Well, I think no matter what you do, you're service oriented. You may not realize it or not, but whatever you do, you're doing something for people. Whether you're making something, whether you're serving them, whether you're doing a painting, anything, you're in service. And if you're doing things that are utilizing the talents and abilities that you have, I mean, not everybody is a great dancer, and not everybody is a great painter. But everyone has individual talents that are really valuable, but they may not realize it. They may realize it and just don't do anything with it. I did it myself. I mean, I felt I wanted to be a writer when I was 27. And, it took me, until 2015 before I finally wrote a book that I felt good about. But everyone's unique and everyone can contribute to the world and bring beauty and peace and joy and products and services to fulfill everyone. So once you begin to realize that if you get so much joy out of service, you really do. If people that are in it can explain it, and people that don't get it don't get it. But boy, if you could just open your mind up a little bit and realize you're serving anyways, why not do it with love and kindness? Even if you're working for a company or whatever, I mean, even if you don't like your boss, you can still like your clients, and just do the best you can. You'll get joy from that.
Absolutely great advice. Before we leave you today, Ken, when folks turn that last page of Juicy, what do you hope sticks with them? What do you hope stays with them? What do you hope changes in their life?
Well, I really hope that they just find value in themselves, that it opens their minds and hearts up a little bit to say, you know what? I think I would like a bit of juice in my life. I think I'd like a day. Give me an hour. Give me something. Let me just treat myself to something. And once they start to do that, if they continue to do that and feel better each day, they're going to open themselves up to anything they want. They can go into manifesting things that they want. I know that's a big thing now. Everybody wants stuff. But you can you can go to for enlightenment if that's what you're looking for. If you're just looking for purpose and service, or just a little bit of joy, it's all there. I just hope that they decide to try and to do something. That's what I would like, because as they become better, think of the people that are in their circle of influence. They'll make them feel better too. So overall, they're going to make a difference. If they don't think about themselves enough, they'll still help others. But I think it'll lead them to believing in themselves, and they'll feel so much better.
Exactly. They'll be happy again. They'll have a smile on their face, and they'll have purpose and intention in their step. Think about what used to make you happy, and I guarantee you it'll still make you happy. The name of the book is Juicy. It is written by Ken Karakas. It is a guide to becoming more aware of how you're living, recognizing your talents and desires, finding purpose, and using that understanding to create a life with more joy and meaning. Ken, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you so much, Logan. I hope the viewers get a little bit of open-mindedness today. So and it start to bring us all a little bit more joy.
Absolutely. I think you put a little juice in their steps with the great advice that you gave today, and wonderful insights as well. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.